Hello there learners. In this video, we are going to discuss financial management of schools. We have already discussed that financial management refers to the process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling an organization's financial resources to achieve its objectives effectively and efficiently. It involves various activities and decisions related to the acquisition, allocation and utilization of funds. Financial management in schools refers to the application of financial principles and practices to efficiently manage the financial resources and operations of educational institutions. It involves planning, budgeting, allocating, monitoring and controlling financial resources to support the delivery of quality education while ensuring financial sustainability. Financial management in schools includes the following aspects. First one is budgeting and planning. Schools need to develop comprehensive budgets and financial plans that align with their educational goals and objectives. This involves estimating income and expenses, setting priorities, and allocating funds to different programs and activities within the school. Resource allocation. Financial management helps schools allocate their limited financial resources efficiently. It involves prioritizing spending based on the needs of the school. The next is revenue generation. Schools need to explore various revenue streams to supplement their funding. Financial management in schools includes identifying and pursuing opportunities for additional fundings, such as government grants, private donations, fundraising activities, or partnership with local business organizations. The next one is financial reporting and transparency. School must maintain accurate financial records and prepare financial reports to demonstrate transparency and accountability to stakeholders. Financial management ensures that financial transactions are properly recorded, financial statements are prepared in accordance with accounting standards, and reports are provided to school boards, administrators, and other relevant parties. The next is cost control and efficiency. Financial management helps schools control cost and optimize the use of resources. This involves monitoring expenditures, identifying areas of potential savings, negotiating favorable contracts with vendors, and implementing cost-effective practices without compromising the quality of education. The next is financial compliances. Schools must comply with financial regulations and reporting requirements. Financial management ensures that schools adhere to applicable laws, tax regulations, and funding guidelines. It involves maintaining proper documentation and conducting internal audits to ensure compliances. The next is long-term financial planning. Financial management in schools involve considering the long-term financial sustainability and viability of the institution and developing strategies to address potential financial challenges or fluctuations in funding. By applying sound financial management practices, schools can effectively manage their financial resources, make informed decisions, ensure the availability of necessary resources to provide quality education to students. Financial management in schools contributes to the overall success, financial health, and sustainability of educational institutions. Now we'll discuss sources of funds for schools. In India, sources of funds for government-run schools are very limited. However, school can obtain funds from various sources to support their operational and educational programs. So here we are going to discuss some sources of funds for the schools. The first one is the government funding. Schools receive funds from both central and state government. This can include funding for general operations, research salaries, infrastructure development, and specific educational programs. In India, government schools are run by both central government and state government. Generally, schools run by central governments receive grants from central government, and state government run schools received grants from state government. Beside government schools, there are private schools run by some bodies, trust, or individuals. Government funding is often provided through education department, government agencies, or grant programs. The states may provide grants to both private schools as well as government schools. The various type of grants shall be discussed later under the section pertaining to grants provided to schools. The next is funding from local bodies. The local bodies like municipalities or corporations or those at the village or those at the district level may levy a cess, that is a sort of tax to be paid by the people inhabiting the locality to fund education of that locality. Funding by government is the main source of income of the government schools. Public fund, that is fund provided by the central, state or local government, are indispensables for these schools. Even private schools receive a share of public funds since they too shoulder the responsibilities of providing education. The next is tuition fees and other fees. Private schools or certain specialized programs within public schools may charge some fees or tuition fees to generate revenues. These fees can include the enrollment fees, the tuition payment, activity fees, and fees for specialized programs such as language classes or extracurricular activities. Next is grants and donations. Schools can seek grants from government agencies, foundations, corporations, and charitable organizations. Grants are typically awarded for specific purposes such as implementing new programs, improving infrastructures, or supporting research activities. Donations from individuals, alumni, and community members can also provide financial support to schools. The next is corporate sponsorship and partnership. Schools can form partnership with corporations and local business to secure financial support. This can include sponsorship agreements in which companies provide funds in exchange for advertising or branding opportunities within the school premises or at events. Then the next is parent contribution. Parents may contribute financially to the schools through voluntary donations or participation in fundraising campaign. These contributions can support various initiatives such as purchasing equipments, funding field trips, or enhancing educational resources. Then fundraising foundations. Some schools have associated fundraising foundations or alumni associations that raise funds specially for the school's need. These foundations often maintain relationship with alumni and other potential donors to secure financial support. The next is loans and financing. In certain situations, school may opt for loans or financing to meet their financial needs. This can involve obtaining loans from banks, credit unions, or educational financing institutions to cover infrastructure development and other educational activities. So, it's important for schools to diversify their sources of funds and develop sustainable funding strategies to ensure financial stability and support their educational mission. This specific mix of funding sources may vary depending on the type of school, its location, and the governing regulation. The next area we are going to discuss is maintaining financial rules. Rules and regulations that guides the functioning of an organization are base of an organization. Management of financial resources is an important task. The school head can manage the finance in an efficient manner only by following the rules related to the financial aspect of the organization. Following the rules pertaining to financial matters can safeguard against financial irregularities and mismanagement. The head teachers is responsible for financial management of the school. As we all know that finance is the key resource to run any organization's. Financial management is very important for smooth functioning of any organizations. So, it is the responsibility of the head teachers to maintain the financial resources properly in order to ensure smooth functioning and growth of the school. The school head is also the custodian of financial resources of the school. For any financial misconduct, the head teachers will be responsible and can have serious legal implications. Therefore, it is very important for him or her to know the financial rules. As the primary source of fund for government school is government grants. As the primary source of fund for government school is government grants, the head teachers must know about the entitlement of fund for his school. The head teacher must know how much money the school will receive during the year and by which time. He or she must aware about the government rules relating to fees, the fee structure which is permitted to collect, the amount of money he or she can collect from different sources, if necessary seeking permissions before collecting money, maintaining proper accounts of the money collected and spent, etc. While generating funds for development of the school, the financial rules must be considered seriously because generating revenue from certain sources may not be permitted by the rules. Collection of money in the form of fee or otherwise from the parents for the welfare of the students or development of the schools has to be done only in accordance with the rules. While incurring expenditures, in certain cases, there may be some limit or in certain cases, it may require approval of the school management committees. The head teacher has to make many other financial transactions for maintaining day-to-day functioning of the school and for organizing events in the schools. In making all such payment and selecting the parties, the head teachers has to keep the financial rules as guidelines. The expenses incurred for any events or any purchase should not surpass the limit set by the financial rules. The expenses incurred for any events or any purchase should not cross the limit set by the financial rules. Financial resources available to a school needs to be efficiently managed and safeguarded against any misuse. The head teacher of the school should ensure that funds are allocated properly. For instance, the funds earmarked for specific purpose should not be utilized for any other purposes. Expenses on several heads are often checked by a maximum ceiling beyond which incurring expenses is not permitted by the rules. In the same way, it is the responsibility of the head teacher to ensure that the fund received from the government and other sources as grants, aid or donations do not remain unused. The fund available with the institution must be utilized timely and properly as per the prescribed rules. Now, we'll discuss some principles of financial management of schools. Financial management of schools is based on certain principles. The head teacher may follow these principles in order to ensure efficient management of financial resources. So the first principle is grant must be used for designated purpose. The head teacher must ensure that the amount received from the government as grant is used only for the purpose for which it has been sanctioned. If at all transfer of funds for one purpose to another is done, it has to be done only with the prior permission from the competent authority. The next is procurement should be done on fair and competitive basis. For procuring any item, the head teacher must ensure that a fair, competitive and transparent system is followed for procuring the item. A committee may be formed for the purpose and tender quotation may be invited from parties to supply the items. The work may be allotted to the party who offer the lowest price and meets the required specifications. The next is complying financial rules, policies and guidelines. The head teacher must follow all the financial rules, policies and guidelines that are currently in force issued by government or administrative agencies while making any expenses or initiating tenders or quotations, etc. The next is maintaining records. All documentary evidence related to purchase or tendering or quotation must be maintained properly for audit, inspections and future reference. The next is accounting and auditing. As per the provisions of the rule or guidelines, every school must maintain books of accounts properly and conduct audit at regular interval. Apart from above mentioned principles, the school must practice which ensures transparency and efficient use of financial and other resources of the school. Now we are going to discuss some provisions of the EMP manual. So as we all know, with effect from 2018-19, Government of India launched Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan by merging the centrally sponsored schemes of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan and teachers education. On 12th September 2018, the Department of School Education and Literacy under the Ministry of Education notified a manual of Financial Management and Procurement, that is FMP manual, for Samagra Shiksha. The FMP manual is intended to be used by the state and union territories as a guide for budgeting and financial reporting procedures, accounting and auditing requirements, and procurement procedures to be followed throughout the country. The provisions of EMP manual are mandatory and are to be followed by the states and union territories to ensure that funds are disbursed, utilized and accounted for in an efficient and effective manner. The FMP manual also mentions about some practices to be followed by schools. So according to section 3.4.5 of the manual, the expenditure statement from school management and development committees, school management committees for all the expenditures incurred till 31st March should be submitted to their respective district program officer within 1 month of closure of the financial year. The next one is for the accountability of transactions of funds under scheme, registration of all the agencies should be done on public financial management system at state, district, school, SMDC and SMC level. According to section 3.6.2, civil work up to rupees 30 lakhs may be undertaken through SMCs or SMDCs. The structure will be followed like at the top there will be the Government of India, then the state government, then SIS, then SMDCs or SMCs, and last community or the contractor. Or at the top it will be Government of India, then state government, then SIS, then DPU, then SMDC or SMC, and then community or the contractor. So this sequence should be followed. For activities at school level which are contracted at state or district level, the SMDC or SMC should be provided a copy of the contract as well as copy of the work order in order to be able to monitor the work efficiently and effectively. The feedback provided by the SMDC or SMC shall include number a confirmation that they have been provided with a copy of the contract, and B, a copy of the latest measurement book and whether it has been finished as per specification. Number C, comments on commencement and completion of the work. And number D, shortcoming perceived by the SMDC or SMC in the work, if any. Except the first installment as advance, all further installments will be released on the receipt of the written feedback from SMDC or SMC. Cash book should be maintained under the double entry system. However, as an exception, single entry system shall be followed at cluster and VEC or school level. According to section 5.3.2, in order to make the financial flow transparent at the school level, every school should display all the grants received and spent on civil and other than civil work by the school, as well as enrollment, attendance, performance, incentive, and the details thereof. All reports of information should be sent to district project officer by schools and shall be displayed on the school notice board. According to section 5.4.2, the SMDC or SMC will be assisted by two subcommittees, that is school building subcommittee and academic committee, headed by the principal and vice principal respectively. According to section 5.5.4, schools should give monthly reports to the district so that district officers can assess the progress of each school. District officers should conduct meeting of the headmasters of government schools for assisting the progress of each school in the district. According to section 5.10.4, the internal audit of SPO and district project coordinator offices shall be carried out every year. Internal audit of schools is conducted on a percentage basis so as to cover 5% of schools in each district. It should be ensured in the internal audit that the prescribed accounting system, including regular bank reconciliation, is strictly followed by all. According to section 5.11.1, internal audit by the auditor appointed by State Implementing Society should cover at least 5% of schools in each district. According to section 7.14.2, number A, all funds to be used for upgradation, repair and maintenance of school grants, teaching learning equipments, KGBV activities and local management should be transferred to school, VEC, SMC, SMDC, KGBV / Girls Hostel Management Committee, Gram Panchayat or any other village or school level arrangement for decentralization adopted by the particular state or union territories. The village or the school-based body may make a resolution regarding the best way of procurement. The involvement of community in the procurement process not only create a sense of ownership among the stakeholders but also achieve transparency in procurement. Number B, procurement rules for school or VEC or SMC or SMDC or KGBV or Girls Hostel shall be either as per the financial rules of PRI institutions or as determined or prescribed or otherwise by the state implementing society, whichever is applicable. This was all about financial management of schools. Thank you.